Místopředseda vlády, Babiš.
Today the vice president of our government.
Tak vlastní jednu z největších firm v republice a ten pracoval v této organizaci.
He is the owner of one of the biggest companies here in the Czech Republic. And the reason is because he was the member of this organization during the communism.
No, protože jsem z rodiny, která byla dost postižena, že jo, tím komunismem.
Well, he was from a family which was very damaged by the communism regime.
A všichni se vlastně těšili, že se toho jedno zbavíme.
And all of them were looking forward that they will get rid of this communism regime.
Největší miliardáři teďka tady.
And the richest people who are nowadays the richest here, they are one of the tops rich
tak
people.
To byli ty, kteří dělali v té masně, anebo to byli ty excelence. To jsou teďka nejbohatší lidi tady.
And the people who are the richest nowadays.
To proto, že v okamžiku, kdy tady jako nastal kapitalismus znovu.
We say the people who are working with puppets. Those are working like with the politicians. Those are very powerful people, and they are telling the politicians what to do. They are financing them, and they are financing even the votes, like from one totality, from the communism, from the ideal world to another one, to capitalism.
Clearly display our thoughts or opinions in our presidential election. And I haven't personally, I mean, for a lot of Taiwanese, we don't harbor hatred. I mean, for me, I understand that different, how do you call that, like how they got their ideas from, like why they think the way they do. But I also understand like why we think the way they do, and I don't hate them. I just feel, but a lot of times you cannot blame a lot of Taiwanese for disliking them, because come to think of it, I often feel like China is a big bully. He may shower you with a lot of economic benefits or diplomatic favors or something. Yes, lots and lots of benefits, but it's built on the very disrespectful and unrealistic way, because at least in Taiwan we have grown apart. Taiwanese and Chinese have grown apart. We are not we acknowledge that a huge part of Taiwanese culture is from China, but there is so much more. First of all, there is not only Chinese part of Taiwan, there are Aboriginals and all that, and still, even Taiwan as a country or an island that is rich in Chinese culture, people on both sides have grown apart. You could say since 1895, when Taiwanese became Japanese colonies, we were not really actually Japanese, even if we were just for a very short amount of time. But our ideas for political ideas, and the social ideas on like society's culture, it's grown apart. So I don't think we don't deny it, but we don't deny our roots in China, but we also feel like we've grown apart. It's just like, yes, a large part of America, the United States, huge root from the United Kingdom, but we're two different countries. Or that may not be a very good analogy.
I'm not claiming to speak for 5.2 million people here, but there was a sense in which the whole issue and the whole tone and the way the campaign was presented was conducted in a pretty alien political language, you know, that nostalgic reminiscing about how things used to be. It's like it's one of my favourite YouTube videos of recent weeks has been the, have you seen the video when there's a chap going round, I think it must have been Republican convention about, well, when was America great? If it's going to be great again, when was it great? Have you seen the video?
No.
It's funny because they go, oh, it was great when we first started. Oh, right, when you had slavery and all that, that was well, apart from the slavery, you know, and then, or before women had the vote, you know, and before, you know, all the things. It's quite a funny video, but but that is essentially that there was sort of the debate about migration. It was what we would call Tory blue, or it was a lot of the debates were one Tory against another Tory. Now, the Tories are a pretty minority political party up here in Scotland. You did get the impression that it was very unlike, for example, the referendum debate, and that's reflected in the turnout figures. The Scottish independent referendum had a turnout, I think, of 85% in Scotland. I think this referendum, the turnout was only about 60 something. I can't recall off the top of my head, but it's, you know, it wasn't. It was like a debate taking place in the media rather than on the streets, and that there wasn't much buzz about it. You know, it's like it's like when I can recall during the independence referendum, a lot of the bars in Glasgow had big signs saying "Nay indie debates at the bar," as in don't start debating independence because it starts causes fights. As in, like, well, it's when two Scotsmen start debating something, they're not actually fighting, but they are talking to each other pretty aggressively, you know, and that's, yeah, it doesn't create the right tone.
I'm a third-year student. So, haggis, kilts, and sheep, that was Scotland that I pictured about 4.5 weeks ago. Okay, add a few men fighting in a local pub, football, and Nessie. Yet, over these past 4 weeks, I have transcended through political, cultural, and historical evolutions of Scotland and myself. I've connected with my heritage while forging a new identity and political perspective. Walking through the streets, I can't help but imagine my great-great-grandfather scurrying to court with his lawyer's briefcase, hopefully not scurrying fast enough to ruffle his kilt, but getting there in time. Following in the footsteps of my Scottish ancestors, I dream of becoming a diplomat. And now as a Fulbright, I have truly become an ambassador for Scotland. Able to share within my home country the legacy, the innovation, and the future Scotland is determined to define by their own rules. As for politics, Scots never hesitate to declare their opinion, to demand a better future, and certainly to vote. I can only imagine how the Scots would turn the American politics upside down if given the chance. Immersing myself in Scotland has promoted redefined expectations of my role in establishing culture, identity, and innovation in the future. Discovering countryside castles, the birthplace of Mary Queen of Scots, and the decaying abbeys has translated textbook history and Hollywood drama into a tangible experience, one which I personally celebrate the victories and revel in the losses of the Scots and of time. I've been connected to the spirit of who the Scots are, and who they are back in the past, as well as who they are now, the resilience to overcome every obstacle, their commitment to remaining a world leader, and their resolve to take a bold stand time and again, to uphold Scottish interests, identities, and values. From Charles Mackintosh, Sir Walter Scott, and Irn-Bru, Scotland surpassed all I imagined. So if you ask me now to summarize Scotland, I'd proudly declare avant-garde and posed to forge its own path.